look at Washington from last year, they really did almost everything well. Stopping the run, pass defense, tops in the Pac-12, forcing turnovers, get sacks, and they have a lot of guys back. Are those the types of things that kind of keep you up at night?
Well, they do. Their front four. I can't speak for anybody else because I wasn't in the Big Ten last year. I was in the Big 12. But going through the Big Ten and seeing the front four they have is, it's like playing Ohio State's front four when Boso and those guys were there, when Coach Ash was there. So it's a great front four. You look in their secondary, and they're all 4 or 5 star guys. Which does that mean anything? I don't know, but they all look like it. And they all run well, good linebackers. So, it puts a lot of stress on, what we can and what we can't do. But I think we're working on a pretty good game plan. And, after watching last year, certainly helps you understand that, you can't get sacked and you can't turn the ball over. And, can't go 1, 2, 3 and out, those kind of things. But I think the sacks and the negative yards and the turnovers are the things you got to stay away from, certainly in the first game.
Jerry, at quarterback, what makes Kyle the right guy to start this game?
Well, I think that I think Gio did a great job. Jonathan's still learning, and he's going to be a guy that's going to be unbelievable here. But I think the biggest thing, is a little bit more experience. I think that was probably at the end of the day. And then from an offensive standpoint, through his experience, he understands the game very well. Getting us in the right things in the right places at the right time. I think that was kind of the area that he was ahead of a little bit than Gio, and he's also been under a pretty good quarterback coach and Bobby Petrino or his son, whichever who you want to say has coached him. But so he's had good upbringing there, and I think that helps with the knowledge of the game, and he has played in some big games. So I think even though he hasn't played a lot, none of our guys have really, and but I think that he has the comfortability of me right now to be our guy and be a good leader. And he's worked his butt off to prove that to our kids, because our kids, we don't get to vote, so our kids voted him captain. So that ought to tell you something.
Jerry, what's your comfort level with the wideouts, considering, let's face it, throughout training camp, so many of them had green jerseys on, it seemed. But as far as, coming in the first game with them taking contact and everything, what's your, how do you feel about that group?
I feel pretty good. I think that you'd have to talk to Javar, and I wasn't here a year ago, but he said there's no comparison to what we have right now than what we had a year ago. So that's coming from the wide receiver coach. We're going to play 2 freshmen. It's going to play a lot. Janarian is back, and he's knocking the rust off, and had a good week of practice last week. Duop is practice every day. He's had green jersey on, but he's practiced every day, and like I said, Hunter Hikes had an unbelievable camp. So I think DeCoven Bailey, we moved outside, and he's made some great plays. So I think there's 6 or 7 guys in there, that maybe, again, I don't know, but I guess that according to him that we're just a lot better. We didn't drop any balls, I don't think, the other night in a mock scrimmage. We overthrew a couple, but pass. We haven't dropped a lot of balls really, and I guess last year we dropped a lot. I don't know, y'all were here, so just according to my coaches that have been here, said that we're a lot better in that position, speed wise. You look at the young kids. They're going to be playing against Washington. We're going to throw Bo Melton out there, and then we're going to throw. Help me, I'm getting old. Hunter's got a chance to play some, but Wormley, Wormley's the one I was looking for. Is Wormley to me is strength-wise, size-wise. He's ready to play. He's an athletic dude. He's been a surprise at camp to me. He's really done well, really done well. So, they're going to go against. So find out they're going to go against some of the best skilled players in the country in Washington, and be good for them. You got, just like I used to say, sooner or later you got to find out where you're at, and we're going to find out. We'll probably have a more realistic look where we're at than anybody in the country because of who we're playing.
Sure. You've talked about. Oh, okay.
No, go ahead.
Okay, you've talked about being a one quarterback guy. Your preference is to play one quarterback, but Chris did say that that both Gio and Jonathan might have roles, and they obviously bring different skill sets. What are the pros and cons of maybe trying to get those two guys work inside the?
Oh, you never know what I'll do, and that's when I say multiple quarterbacks and saying that we're going to flip every series and all that stuff, I'm not going to do that. But I'd go back to Northern Illinois and how we used Jordan Lynch when he wasn't a starter, and I had Chandler Harnish. In certain situations, you got, if you may want to do some things, you may not want to do things, but we got to bring Jonathan along. We're still doing that, and we'll just have to see. This first game we're going to be pretty basic. We have to be, because we got a really young offensive football team, and we can't put our people up front in bad situations, and can't put a quarterback in a bad situation. So we'll keep things pretty simple going to this, and we'll just see kind of how the year goes on before it's all over. But I think y'all went through 4 quarterbacks last year or 5, and hopefully we only go through 1. Stay healthy.
Jerry, when we talked to you earlier in camp about naming a starting quarterback, you mentioned you wanted to do it in a time frame where you could get that starting quarterback known, so that was the best thing for the team.
Right.
How good has that been for you guys now in the last week or so, and with this week leading up to Washington? How much has that helped the guys in their development?
I think good. I think like I said, when you vote on captains and he gets elected captain, that's pretty. And he actually got elected captain before we voted on the captain, so that's even better. So I think that I think it gives everybody, hey, this is who the guy's going to be, and this is who you're going to work with. And I've continued to rep the other 2 quite a bit, and they'll have to get more mental reps this week than getting all the physical reps. But I just think that everybody needs to know, who that guy's going to be, and everybody can settle in and say, okay, let's roll. And you can always wait till the last second, but I don't know how good that does your team. So that's how I've always chose to do it if I could. And they know you're going to play quarterback. Washington does. So,
in this last week, has that helped their development then?
I think so.
The way you wanted it to?
Yeah, I think so. I feel, from when I came in and where we started and where we're at right now, and the kids have busted their tail in. I've got concerns going the game, like anybody else, because of the physical, the physicalness, size, and speed that Washington has on defense. And, they may be as good as defense we play all year. I don't know. But, after watching last year, it makes you awful nervous. And but I think our preparation and our plan and all those things you always hear coaches talk about that. I think we have some flexibility in our plan if they do try to outmuscle us some. So, but we'll just have to see. You just don't know until you throw them out there. You really don't.
Following up on Everett Wormley, what is he doing that made him such a surprise to you in training camp?
Making plays, making big plays, throwing the ball over the top and go catch a football. He's made a lot of big plays going up and getting the ball, and that's been impressive. And he'll block you, and he's physical. I didn't realize I don't know what he weighs. You have to check it out, but he's 200 pounds anyway. So he's a bigger physical kid at his age as a freshman.
As a coach, winning the turnover battle is probably always important in every game, but limiting the turnovers, how much of an emphasis has that been throughout training camp? And
Coach, if you've been out of practice, that's all we do. He's big on fundamentals, done a great job with that. But I'd say that I had our quarterbacks right on the board, what we got to do to win the game. I just I want 5 things, and I want to see if they're on the same lines as I was. And first one was no turnovers. The next one was no minus yards, meaning we can't take sacks and we can't have minus yards. And, those were 2 of the things we just what we talked about. And so I think they're well aware, what we need to do. We got to play good first quarter. They're a great first quarter team. And, we got to hope we can keep their best defense in America is keep their offense on the sideline. So we can't go 1, 2, 3 and out and expect to win.
What impressed you the most during camp about Gus Edwards and what he brought to the table?
Everything. I think he's a mature young man, number one. Number two, he's very serious about what he wants to do and where he wants to go with his life. Number three, he's, like I said, great kid. Number four, he's got tremendous bounce, and he runs with a low pad level for a big guy. I mean, those things right there, there's no question in my mind that stays healthy, he'll play at the next level. I've coached some good running backs, as y'all know, and I'm anxious to see him play. You know, because if he plays like he's practiced, then we'll have a chance to have our offensive line look a lot better when you got a good back. And but he's, and those offensive line kids, they've taken pride in having Gus back there, but he's got a chance to be special. You got to see on game day how they play on Saturday, but you know, so far he's got all the tools.
Anything else, guys? Thanks, Coach.
It's a lot easier than being the head coach. Jeez.